Often, Sonix, another example of a very, very patient player in a lot of those situations. I'd like to call attention back to their set at Pound 2022, where it seemed like Sonix felt he had to hold in. He had to chase Gluto down because to him, usually when he has a lead, every second that he's not interacting with his opponent is a second towards victory, a second that he's baiting his opponent to jump in so that he can blow them up.
Widely
not
so.
Against Gluto. Against Gluto, it's just another second towards Waft. It's just another second towards a potential free kill setup. It looks like we're going to be starting our series here on Final Destination. I gotta say, I don't like this choice from Gluto. This is one of Sonix's favorite stages, but we'll have to see if the French Menace can actually make it work.
And he tries to go in with those Nares. Sonix taking his sweet time to bait something out of Gluto here, and the up and air goes to Gluto. 35%. Could he get more? Just homing attack. Getting a little more of that. Only 10% though for Sonix here on Glutonny. And we were saying every second that Waft is taking.
Every second you're not running away, he's just getting closer. Sonix finally getting that fair to do a little bit of damage, but Gluto ends up falling out of the spin charge, so Sonix not able to convert that into even more, and then the falling Chomp going to be able to catch Sonix, and Gluto just doing such a good job defensively. Usually players, they get flustered when Sonix is crossing back and forth on their shield. They try and chase him, they try and get that punish because they feel like if somebody touches their shield, they should be able to get a punish, but not against Sonix and not Gluto. He's going to stay calm, he's going to just stay confident in his defensive capabilities.
Yeah, definitely discipline is a very important characteristic that players at this caliber must have. And Sonix definitely also the type of player that will test your mental strength, that will test your discipline, and that those situations that you might not be as familiar with, but it feels like Gluto very familiar with such situations. In spite of that though, look at Sonix go.
Finally gets that one big advantage state that he needs, and this is what makes Sonix so dang scary, is the fact that yes, he's staying far away from you, but when he decides to go in, or if, God forbid, you decide to go in, he's going to just do so much damage and find that KO as the first stock goes his way thanks to that F smash.
Oh, the dash comboed in, but it wasn't meant to be a long one. The full Waft is glowing as well. Talking about cross-ups, Gluto does one of his own with that bike, and the grab is here. The percents are looking so much in the favor of Sonix, and I don't think that Gluto wants to spend that Waft just yet. He might need it for that last stock.
He definitely might, Roy. He's got to find a way to get Sonix onto that last stock, and right now this is looking like it's coming up all Sonix all the way. Oh, just what? Barely does not get hit by that punch as the dash attack clanks through it, but Sonix mixing up so much on the ledge, using that wall jump and then attempting for the the homing attack, excuse me, and not letting up the pressure in the slightest.
Not letting up, indeed he is, and Becker finds another Becker as well. Like, that is the option to answer, an eye for an eye, right? So Sonix here making sure that Gluto just stays stuck in that corner, and he will even make it back like that. The bike seemed to be effective. That the Chomp will do it though, 2-2, but Gluto looking pretty red over there.
And I usually don't like to do this, but Roy, I'd like to call your attention to the timer. 4 minutes remaining, and we've only seen one stock. Now 2 stocks gone from Gluto. I dare not say it, but if Gluto will they, right?
That is the question. It's an open question for everybody in chat.
I don't think so for this game. Sonix has enough of a lead that he's going to be able to play a little bit more aggressive without much fear of getting reversaled. But still, the question is always there.
Of course, and the pressure after those aerials. My God, Sonix is even ready for the attempt at an escape in the aerial way. Of course, that hitbox on Nair from Gluto is not as big as one might think, so Sonix able to stuff it out quite easily.
And this calls back to that preparation that I was talking about before the set. Sonix, he looks like he has an answer for every single situation that Gluto is going to throw at him. Oh, you do this, I'll do that. If X, then Y. And yeah, looks like Gluto doesn't really know what to do quite yet. He might need a little bit longer in the set to figure out the guy who has everything figured out.
Oh my God, here the combo potential is right there, but as he is trailing one full stock, behind. Gluto will need much more than just a waft and a combo to make it happen. And Sonix just very happy to play the clock a little bit, just forcing Gluto to stay, and he can play by the ledge all that he wants. Sonic, one of the very few characters that can actually use even cornering himself as an advantage state.
Right, he has those few iframes on the startup of Spin Dash. So if Gluto comes in and he times it right, that's all of a sudden an advantage state for Sonix, and that's what's so deadly about him. But Gluto going to have to burn Waft to even make it back to the stage. The Waft a non-factor, and Gluto looking like he might also be a non-factor here in this game one if Sonix gets his way.
Oh, the second jab though, and that, completely letting go of that punish is Gluto. Those edge guards that Sonix normally gets, actually, like he's surprisingly effective at getting those, and that is one of the staples of his gameplay, not doing that just yet though, as Gluto's recovery has been stellar, and even baiting that out, just the area of respect that Sonix is working with here versus Gluto has been impressive.
And then it's just a Spin Dash to take out the stock, with Gluto going all the way up to 218% after the hit. We talked about Gluto's survivability as one of his strongest factors, especially during the set with Shiny Mark. And his survivability is still great. He lived a very, very long time on that last stock, but sadly, didn't really seem to matter, as again, Sonix just had all of the answers to him, and eventually one of those stray hits was going to take Gluto out. His defensive play so good that it seemed like even if Gluto wanted to go for Waft on that second stock to even it up, he didn't have the opportunity.
Yeah, like he was even forced to expand the Waft to recover, which is not what we see every day, and if Gluto is willing to just let go of such resources to actually just keep himself alive,
Wait, did I just hear Roy? I did!
Oh my god, what?
Now, I was talking to Gluto a little bit because I saw him go Roy in pools. And I asked him, I said, what's up with the Roy? And he goes, well, he's a very easy character to play, and he's also very good. I have about 15 hours in the character, and I would consider my Roy to be probably my second best character after my Wario. And alongside that, many Sonic mains and many Roy mains agree that Roy is one of, if not Sonic's worst matchups. So Gluto, potentially with the last-ditch attempt after a poor game one, to go onto that secondary to make the Roy work. See if it happens.
I mean, if there's a time to try, is right here, right now, before it is too little, too late. So the fact that Gluto is willing to try for that counter pick really goes to show
just how dominant that game one was.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, Sonic's getting stretchered by the platform as it makes its return, but Gluto not going to be able to convert it into a KO, as now he's the one who's stuck off stage against Sonix, and Sonix very rarely lets stuff like this go, using every tool in his disposal to try and stop Gluto from getting back on the stage, but eventually he does get feet on ground.
Double edge stance, even though that move strong, not gonna do it from the center of the stage. No backer. Glutonny looking like he's missing some of those confirms. They're normally regarded as a very technical player, somebody that it's very precise with the quaff confirms and stuff like that. Perhaps it's showing that there's not that much experience in this Roy, but he will still get the confirm when it matters.
It seems that my commentary so far has been me stealing a lot of quotes from people, so I'm just gonna go ahead and steal one more. I heard Mr. R say earlier, jab back air is 10 times harder to hit in bracket than it is in friendlies. So Gluto, good stuff to him for hitting jab back air to take out that first stock, and actually finds himself a stock lead for the first time in this set.
First time it goes, but he goes off stage as well. Gluto, beautiful recovery once more. He seems to be very aware of the fact that Sonix really does like going off stage and threatening water recovery from Sonix, even getting the stock from it.
Yeah, the over the stage upbeat and into the bear, a Sonix classic.
Yeah.
We've seen it so many times throughout his storied career in Ultimate, even as short as it's been, so just goes to show you how good it is. But Gluto, this Roy, it looks like a real threat. It looks like a real problem for Sonix potentially, as Gluto still has the percent lead. Sonix comes back down and tries to get that crazy dare.
Gluto doesn't get the scramble, so he will reset neutral, and we are at that same stage ever since. They're impeding Sonix to advance into the center of the stage. Now the ledge trap situation is over there, but now dies for Glutonny. The double edge stands though onto the other side, 104%. If he gets caught by the ledge, then Sonix could definitely be losing that stock.
gets the fair to come out of disadvantage now, pushing Sonix into the corner, but it's very, very difficult to put Sonix in the corner for more than a couple seconds at a time as he immediately dashes right on out of there and regains center stage. But then it's Gluto with the back air to once again secure himself a stock lead.
Okay, here we go. This is what Gluto was waiting on whenever he picked that character. So the fact that he's able to run with it, even if ever so slightly, it goes to show once again this man is prepared. But the question is ever so prevalent. We've seen Sonix time and time again get this comeback situations. Like, this is a man that holds on for dear life, but is actually able to punish because of how Sonic just dictates the pace of the match we were saying earlier. But it seems like it's all Gluto right here. Let's see if this keeps up.
I'm on the verge of screaming. Both times I saw Gluto go for that jab F smash or just the raw F smash, and then the SD from Sonix going to take away the onus from Glutonny, making sure he doesn't even have to do the work for that final stock. 2 stocks, that's plenty. It's good enough. I'll give you the last one, and down he goes. We have a 1-1, not in the way that anybody on this freaking planet would have expected. If you had told me that Gluto would be going Roy in game 2 of loser semis against Sonix, I would have just laughed and ignored you.
Of course.
But
I wouldn't have blamed you. I wouldn't have blamed you whatsoever. But this is the craziness that has been Smash Factor number 9. We've seen new characters. We've seen the returns of old kings as well, in Joker from Leo and such. So this is what you can expect from this Mexico era here, and it seems like there's something changing, not perhaps in the air, but also the stage, as Gluto will take on Sonix after getting the event outset.
11.3%, and the color counter pick from Sonix as well. It's a little bit of an underrated thing. I've sort of noticed in my very, very long time of commentating and watching Sonix, he goes the black skin when he plans on camping a lot harder. So take with that information what you will.
Perhaps he is psyching himself up to make that, just getting himself mentally prepared for what he has to do, but the double-edged dance will punish. And also, Roy, one of the fastest characters in this game, able to keep up with that distances at which Sonic might put himself in lag, such as what we just saw. And swinging at the right places, just misspacing it ever so slightly. That double-edged dance, that would have been it, and that indeed it was to the other side, but Gluto still get the first stock.
It's just a little bit delayed, not the instant gratification that Gluto might have been looking for, thanks to Sonix's use of Spring, but you can only run from this man for so long, as it seems, as Gluto then immediately gets another double-edged dance out and takes the first stock, and now he's building up this damage. Sonix, deep off stage, takes 39, and an F smash. Is he dead? No, not quite.
Not quite, but that neutral B is threatening again. The get-up attack, very simple way to make sure. This double-edged dances from Gluto have been crazy, and perhaps he wanted, as we were saying, that immediate gratification. The fact that he knows that he can just swing at those positions at which with Wario he would have to get a specific confirm. He can just do the side B instead and not worry about anything else.
Right, that's another thing that Gluto said to me when I was asking him about his Roy after he played it in pools. He said, it feels like with Roy, I can just kind of do things. I don't have to think too hard. With Wario, I'm always having to think about these situations. I'm always having to prep for every single opportunity that I can even potentially get a kill. For Roy, I've got a sword and I know how to use it.
He is going to swing that sword for sure. His stocks are even, but the percents are not. Gluto misjudging the distance at which Sonix was gonna cross up his shield. Fair out of shield for Sonix even, and those landing fairs have been working wonders to interrupt the approaches from Sonix. So great job that Gluto has been doing here. Same option comes out once again. Let's see if Sonix is able to make something out of this.
Gluto able to get back to stage first and regain control. He looks for the ledge trap, but Sonix able to spin out of the corner in quick order. Gluto looking for these bears, but Sonix just staying underneath them until now the fair connects, puts him up onto that platform, but look, he wants no part of this, and honestly, neither would I. Gluto's Roy is surprisingly terrifying, and I only say that because I didn't think anything could be more terrifying than his Wario until the SD comes out.
He comes out, and Sonix has another fighting chance. Let's see what the answer here is for Glutonny. He was playing so well, perhaps a little confusion. He was waiting for that bike, but that stayed with the other character.
Yeah, he doesn't have bike on this character. He doesn't get that extra tool to recovery. It's just you, your double jump, your air dodge, and your up B. And this time, up B being sniped out by the Sonix F smash. Not enough to KO though, so Glutonny going to have a second opportunity, and he connects Bear. He brings us to last stock, and still doable.
It's still very, very doable. At least that's what Gluto has been showing us. Side B only 15%. He is going to need a lot more of that. He wants to make having the French champion, trying to keep up here with the Dominican and the Sonix. Oh, the platform, that was very scary. Trying to get the assist from that was Sonix. Once again, though, like Glutonny has been very good at catching the Sonix in the air time and time again. Let's see if he repeats the trick right here. Gluto could still make this happen, but sometimes it just feels so scary.
Roy, this is Roy on town.
Yeah.
Nice little connection between commentary and game as Sonix finds that back air to close it out. I was going to point out,
Tell me more.
any point that could have been a stolen kill for Gluto. We almost saw that F smash that he got in the corner kill at like 40%. If he had just gotten one solid read, got an F smash, got a side B on the ledge, he could have stolen that away from Sonix. Sonix, he's going to stay calm, cool, and collected and not throw away the gift that Gluto gave him with that SD, but
Oh, yeah.
it was there. It felt like a waft was on deck.
Perhaps Gluto felt bad for that SD that Sonix did earlier, and he was like,
It's
okay,
a soul for a soul.
you got one as well, and Roy is here to stay, apparently.
Not looking to try it again with the Wario. It didn't work out too well in game one, and the Roy has been looking phenomenal. Gluto, I don't want to say I'm pleasantly surprised, because what else would I expect from one of the world's best players, but I am very surprised that his Roy is this good.
Oh, yeah, and look at that, Sonix staying by the ledge. As you were saying, perhaps this color scheme for his Sonic indicates that he is going to be running away, and of course, Gluto is not willing to commit until he actually has to, and that charge from the ledge, so crucial for Sonix to make it out. The charge is fully loaded, and he is getting 73% of this Roy, and an Edgar situation to boot.
Ooh, but he gets stretchered and almost saved there by the platform coming in. Takes him right back in and lets him completely avoid Sonix at the ledge, but he's not out of the woods yet as he does find his first little bit of percent. And Roy, this is the cornerstone of Sonix's playstyle and his game plan, right? Being able to keep that distance between the two of you. While he's so fast he can close it in a moment, you can't do the same. And because he can close it in a moment, he's just waiting for you to make a single mistake. Once you do, he's there, he's in your face, and he's blowing you up for it.
Oh, the recovery was almost effective, but Sonix making sure to swing a second time in order to make sure to close it out. And once more here, Gluto is being the victim of a quite a hefty percent. 36 might not seem like much, but whenever you're facing Sonix, every single number hurts.
Every single one of them, because that does mean in the worst case scenario, he can go for the timeout, and in the best case scenario, he's got an even bigger lead and can just continue to play that long distance game plan. Sonix using the shot to get back up onto stage. I mixed up my terminology for a moment there, and then connecting with the back air to trade out in the DBZ.
He will trade, but still no stock for either of them, though Gluto is trailing by quite a bit, and even more so, and the spring is not enough here. The dash attack neither, and Gluto trying to chase the platforms have been saving these players quite often, and Gluto gets bounced off stage, and the spring will make sure. Sonix didn't even have to swing at that point, but he will because he likes being off stage like that.
162% on Sonix. All that means right now is rage and a potential edge guard here. The spring pops Gluto down, but he's able to double jump right back onto stage, avoiding the worst case scenario of a death at 0. But this case scenario is not all that much better, as Sonix continuing to pour that damage on before the up smash finally does it. Takes that first stock down, so at least no more danger of a 3 stock, but Gluto has a lot more work to do if he wants to make a game 5 possible.
Gluto will have to thread the needle in between defense and offense, but that will not be possible. That was only what could have happened, as Sonix will close out the set, and his bracket life is still intact. The loser side, but his loser's bracket life is still intact.
Gonna be moving on to losers finals for a shot at the Buzz, a shot at redemption from his loss against him
Ooh.
back at Double Down. So
Does this mean that the Buzz is qualified for the Panda Cup?
I do believe so. He's in
Sonix
top
is
3.
already in.
Right.
And Leo was the first to make it into Grand Finals. So this means that the only guy left that hasn't qualified is the Buzz. So definitely the Buzz must have been rooting in the crowd like, please Sonix, you have to do it.
Yeah, I don't want to speak for the lovely officials at Panda Global because I'm not entirely sure what the ruling is. I don't know for sure, but we can at least assume that it's good news for Mr. DeBuzz, right? We can at least like go, yeah, let's go DeBuzz, right? Either way, though, that is